Okay, everyone, welcome to day number 2 of Google Chrome. This is one of the 8 Google apps. Well, actually, there's more Google apps now, but one of the Google apps that we study. So let's just quickly write on the board the Google apps that we are going to learn or study in this class. Okay, who's got one? Gmail. Okay, Drive, Gmail, YouTube.
Documents.
Okay, that's part of this.
That's part of Drive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about
Recon
apps?
is part of Drive.
What about apps?
Apps is an app.
Google
Apps
Map.
is the apps. Map,
We got calendar.
map, calendar.
Google Mail.
Google Play,
Gmail. That's easy. We got that.
Okay, what else do we have?
Play,
We have Gmail. What are we studying this week? What did I just say? Welcome
Chrome.
to day 2
Chrome.
on Chrome, right?
Yeah, Chrome.
Voice.
Drive.
We've got Drive,
Okay.
Chrome, Gmail,
We need one more.
YouTube, Map, Calendar. What are we missing?
Docs.
Docs is there. Okay, at the beginning of the day, I said go open
Calendar.
go to Google.
Calendar.
At the beginning of the class,
Plus.
Google Plus, right?
I thought that was already on there.
No,
that's the social
Okay,
media
now
page.
Google Plus has a couple sub apps that we study. What are those? Hangouts. That's what we're doing right now. We do that every day. What do we do in the afternoons?
Diversity papers.
No.
Memorization.
What do we do in the afternoon?
Brainwash,
Rayanne, what do we do in the afternoon? After 2.
Our projects. School projects.
Okay. Communities, right. Communities. And what's the other thing we do in Drive besides docs and storing documents?
Spreadsheets.
We don't do spreadsheets. You should do spreadsheets, but we do forms.
Servers. That's the Drive.
We do forms. Okay, so those are the 8 Google apps that we study. And in your 16 weeks, we go through these twice. And during each week, what we want to do is talk about how each app affects or touches other apps. So Chrome, the way to think about Chrome is like the doorway to all Google apps. Okay, what do I mean by that, Ron?
we can get to them from Chrome.
Right. We can, and the only way, right?
Right.
How do we get through? How do we get to Gmail?
We get to Gmail with the 9-dot grid.
Well, okay, sorry. How do you launch? Not how do you actually do that, but in order to get to Gmail, you first have to be on what?
Chrome.
No,
Google Plus.
no,
Log in.
no. You have to be on the internet.
Oh,
Okay. You can get to the internet through Chrome. That's what we use. That's the doorway we use to the internet. You can get to Gmail through Internet Explorer, right?
Right. True.
Or through Safari.
Or it could be on your bookmark.
Or Firefox.
Like
Well,
mine.
you need a browser. You can't launch an app unless you have a browser. You have to be on the internet to launch an app. Okay, you can't, in other words, you can't have your computer not plugged into the internet and get to Gmail, right?
Right.
Okay, now, if your computer is hooked up to the internet but Chrome is not running, can you get to Gmail?
No.
Yeah.
No. Can't. You need a browser.
That's what Chrome
Internet
is. It's a web browser.
Explorer and put type in.
Well, you can't get to Gmail without going through some browser. Okay, so all of these apps come in through Chrome. Okay? You can't get to any app unless you have a browser. And the browser we use is Chrome. So we're studying that today because some of the things that you can do in Chrome make it a very powerful tool. Okay? Anybody have any idea what some of those things are that make Chrome a powerful tool?
Yes.
The settings are more personalized, maybe. You can search training from
Yeah. From the omnibar.
Okay.
itself.
I don't know. I have to see. I can't.
Chrome saves everything that you do as you go.
Okay, it does that. Okay,
You can
so
open more windows.
one of the things is that you can personalize it. You can really personalize it so that when you launch it, certain pages automatically launch. You can do that in other browsers too. But one of the things for professional use is when you click on the Chrome button, you want it to be fully configured for your use. So starting at the top, what are those things called at the top of the page in Chrome? Tabs, right. So you can configure the tabs when you launch Chrome that certain tabs always launch, right?
Yeah.
Right.
What's an example of one that we want to launch?
Calendar.
Calendar, right. So Calendar is one of those apps that we want Chrome to automatically launch when we push the Chrome button. What's another one?
We set that to default, right?
Google Plus, right. Those are the two. The two that we should definitely have are Chrome. When you launch Chrome, it automatically launches Google Plus and Calendar. Okay. Now I used to have Gmail as one that automatically launches. I don't really do that anymore. But that would be another one, especially when you're at work, because you're going to want to be checking your Gmail, your email a lot. Okay, now below the tabs is what? Above the bookmark. The Omnibar, right. And somebody said here, what's one of the advantages of the Omnibar in Chrome?
You don't need the page.
Right. It's for search. You can put anything in there. So what else can you put in there besides search terms?
Anything, mathematical problems.
Mathematical problems you can put in there.
Oh, for the spreadsheets.
Okay. If you want to know simple math, I think you can put in things like. Let me just see about this.
No, you can do that also on the spreadsheets.
You put just a question?
Yeah, you can put some questions in.
How many days this month?
Well, that one didn't work, but there are some things that you can put in, and it doesn't bring up the search page, it just gives you the answer.
But I put population of Fresno once and it gave it to me.
Okay, let's try that. So I'm going to close this, open that, go to the Omnibar. Okay, so here we go. Population of Las Vegas, 2012.
And why does it only say 596,000 people?
Because that doesn't include the other 400 illegal people. 400,000.
Is that Las Vegas or Fresno?
That's the city of Las Vegas. That's metro. That's not county.
Okay.
But it also doesn't include the almost 40 million tourists or people who visit. Okay, so the Omnibar can do a lot more than just go to websites. Okay, now what's below the Omnibar?
Bookmarks.
Bookmarks, right. And so today's video had a couple hints or a couple things to talk about on the bookmarks bar, what did she call it? She didn't call it the bookmarks bar. What did she call it? No.
For personalization.
What did she call it? I'm the only person who heard what she called it.
She talked really fast.
Like I said, she went.
I'm the only person who remembers. She called it the browser bar. Does anybody remember her saying browser bar? I don't know why she calls it the browser bar, but do you remember that? Okay. Okay, we're going to call it the bookmarks bar. Why?
Because that's how we learned it.
Because that's what Google calls it. If you click on the three bars, click on the three bars right now. Okay, click on the three bars, and
Bookmarks.
so Aristotle, what's the fourth one down from the top? What's it say?
On the what?
If you click the three bars in Chrome on the right.
Okay, bookmark.
says bookmarks. It doesn't say browser bar, right? It says bookmarks.
And then it opens up another window where you can adjust it, right?
Yeah, well, you can, yeah, there's things you can do.
just pop
If
up.
you uncheck show bookmarks bar, so that window that pops up when you go over bookmarks,
Yeah.
big window pops up. On
Yeah.
mine it's large because I have a lot of bookmarks. You have show bookmarks bar, right? It doesn't say browser bar.
Is it a limit on the bookmarks we put on there?
Well, probably, but it's probably so high. We would never get there. You can't add enough.
She was talking about
bookmarks.
erasing the words next to it. Just use
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
internet.
in California, what was one of the things that we learned about the bookmarks bar that you can do to make it even better?
Anybody?
Taking the words,
What's that?
the letters, the words, the labels on the.
I had one student saying take away the labels, the letters.
Right, exactly. So we can shorten it, so that means you can do what? Have more.
Right.
Now, she didn't say it, but you should probably know by now you can rearrange the bookmarks.
Hey, can we take away the name and just read it by the logo?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that? How do you
So
do
you
that?
right-click on it,
Right click.
and then what?
Edit.
And then you click Edit, delete the name.
It just says delete.
You don't want to
Edit,
delete. That
edit.
deletes the delete.
Just delete the name and put save.
Okay. Now, one of the things I liked that she did, that she showed, was how what I always said is if you want to drag this string here in the omnibar down to the bookmarks bar, select it. Now, what I try to say to everyone is just move the pointer into the omnibar and left click one time. And that selects the whole thing. But what most people do is they like to hold the left the left mouse button down, right? And they like to drag across and do it that way, right?
Right.
Isn't that how most people do it?
I do it. I do it.
The way I try to tell you to do it is to just go in the middle and click one time,
Right. It is way more sufficient.
okay?
And they-
But
And then
what did
highlight.
she do? Did anybody notice what she did?
She broke it, right?
No. She drug it after she selected. What did she do? She went
Copied
to
it.
this little thing right here. Left click, held it down, and just drug it. So you don't have to select the whole thing. So you go to any site,
Oh, that
over on the left side of the omnibar is a little icon, a little thing. If you left click and hold it down, you can just drag it right to the omnibar. So that was the thing I liked that she did.
Nice.
For the bookmarks bar. Okay, so right now we can personalize the tabs, right? Or not personalize it, but we can set them up to launch the way we want them to launch when we launch Chrome. We learned about the omnibar. The bookmarks bar is very good. And another thing in the bookmarks bar, you can have a folder in the bookmarks bar. Oh, here's the Marcus Aurelius book, by the way. So you can have a folder inside the bookmarks bar. So I'm going to drag this folder here called TED Talks. So the bookmarks bar doesn't just have to be websites. It can be documents. It can be forms. It can be spreadsheets. It can be anything that has a web address. So here, I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to click on this folder called TED Talks. And so the one TED Talk that's in here is Sebastian's song. And it launches it. So if I was a better instructor, if I did my job better, I would have all of our TED Talks in a folder that I would then share with everybody. So when you were done with this class, you just have a folder that has all the TED Talks in it by
That
name.
we saw during our
You
time.
would, yeah, then you wouldn't have to go to TED and type in the search box, okay? But obviously I'm not that good. So,
Oh, you're great, you're great.
so that's another thing about Chrome that is good, is customizing the bookmarks bar, but it's not to just customize it for websites. And this is why I said the other day, my preference is that you don't have the Google Apps in your bookmarks bar. And people that know what they're doing, like Rob, know if I'm going to click on something here, I need to make sure to open a tab first. Okay, but if I didn't open a tab, and I wanted to go to TED Talks by pushing on this key, what's going to happen?
You're not gonna,
What's going to happen to this one?
it's gonna, oh,
Calendar is going to close.
right.
TED is going to replace calendar.
But if you use the bookmark bar,
If I have the Google Apps in the bookmarks bar. Well, anything you use the bookmarks bar for. Whatever tab you're on is the one that's going to be replaced by what you do with your bookmarks bar.
if you don't open a new tab.
Whatever is the tab that's active. Watch. I'm going to open a new tab. I'm going to come back here to make, this one is active. This just says new tab. If I push Brain Rush, TED is going to disappear. It doesn't automatically go to the new tab over here.
So you won't be able to work with them at the same time because you closed the one tab.
Yeah, so if anything that you push in the bookmarks bar, it's going to replace what's in the active tab. So what you want to do is make sure you open a tab first. Right? Follow me, Norm?
Yes, I think I do.
If I click on anything in the bookmarks bar, Marcus Aurelius, it's not going to go and open a new tab down here. It's going to go to the active tab. That's the one that's lit. So I'm going to push Marcus Aurelius. So it's opening Google Cloud Reader. If I fill that out, it'll go to the Marcus Aurelius book. It replaced TED, which was here. So the frustration I have is if you have your bookmarks bar, you have Gmail, if you have calendar, you're on your calendar and I say go to Gmail, you push your Gmail button, what happened to calendar?
Disappeared.
It disappears. Right. And I say, well, now go back to your calendar. Then what you're going to do, you're going to close Gmail and you're going to open calendar. It's easier just to have both tabs open. Something she didn't talk about was pinning a tab. What does that mean?
When you minimize the tab.
Right. So just as we learned to minimize things on the bookmarks bar, how do you minimize something on a tab?
Right,
Go to that tab and right click.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right
can't
click,
tab.
tab, and then it makes it small. So I can have a lot more tabs open that way, and that will become important in the future. In fact, you should pin your calendar in your Google Plus tabs. Okay. Why? If you have it so it launches those two
Automatic.
in the very beginning, it's always going to launch Calendar and Google Plus.
It's always there.
Yeah, they're always going to be there. You might as well not minimize them, but pin them so they're very small. Okay? Yes, Norm.
So if I take, like, I want to open TED up, if I got, say I'm in Gmail, I want to open TED up, I can go to the bookmarks and open it, because it's going to go where my G calendar is. But if I took TED and put it up on top there,
No,
open
so
that
what you
first.
want to do is open a new tab first. So that little
so it goes
rectangular type thing next to your last tab, if you click on that, so do that right now,
so TED would go right there.
and that thing is now called New Tab, right?
Right.
Okay. So when you have New Tab, and that's the one that's active, meaning it's the brightest, then you push TED, or whatever's on the bookmarks part that you want to.
All right.
Okay.
And leave them both open.
Yeah, leave them both open.
Gotcha.
Close tabs as you need to close them. Now, what is to the right of the Omni bar?
your dictionary, your history,
Okay, what are those called?
icons.
Those are called extensions. Those are shortcuts to other little mini apps.
Oh, about that one.
Now, she mentioned,
Says it's 74. How many pages you matrix? Does it look like a little eraser? Is that a book? Is that a Wikipedia search? A calculator?
well, everybody might have different ones.
Yeah.
Now, she mentioned a great shortcut, a great extension to put up there that I want everybody to go to now. So if we're going to add an extension, what do we do? Scott, what do we do?
Open this.
Hit the 3 bars.
Okay.
Sorry.
Then what? Nick?
Setting.
Okay. Then what, Scott?
Right, what was the last one?
Go to settings.
I did the store to already be your computer.
Okay, so how do I get to the store? Scott.
One way by parents get themes.
Okay, so I'm in settings. Everybody should be in settings right now.
MS.
Okay, so what do we do?
Get themes.
Scott.
Get themes.
Where's that?
Below appearance.
Already.
Appearance.
Below appearance.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, go back to here.
I don't have appearance.
Right there. Just close the tab. Now what? I push on the 3 bars. Then you say go to settings.
Below there it says, click get themes. That's where you want to be.
Okay.
Appearance, yeah.
Get themes.
Get themes?
You got it?
On the left side down there, the bottom, you see extensions.
It didn't say push it though.
He pushed it.
Okay.
They pushed it down.
That has a variety of different kinds of extensions.
Okay. So what we are, is everybody here?
Yes.
Where
No,
you
I'm
should
not.
be
I'm not
is the Chrome Web Store.
I'm just in settings right now.
And you want to get to the Chrome Web Store. And like in Google, one of the great things is there's always more than one way to get somewhere.
To where?
So Scott just showed us one way to get there.
You're not in the right place.
Here's another way to get
Go back
there.
up to the 3 bars.
Okay, go to extensions on the left side. Then what?
Go to settings.
No, I don't want to go to settings. Where do I go?
Where it's in the appearance.
You go to the very bottom and it says get more extensions.
Right there.
And that brings you to the Chrome Web Store. And now when you're in the Chrome Web Store, what I want you to type is shortcuts. What did she say?
Shortcuts.
What did she say? She said, here's a great shortcut. Here's a great extension. What was it, Rayshawn?
Shortcuts for
Google.
Shortcuts
for
was
Google.
Google. I can
If
click
you
on it
type
right here.
shortcuts, it should pop up and say for Google.
Got it.
Okay? So click on it. What happens?
It went to
Apps come up.
apps.
Or
What's below
extension.
apps?
I'm right where you're at.
Extensions.
Extensions. What's the first one in extension?
Shortcuts for
100
Google.
shortcuts and
Shortcuts for Google. Now make
100
sure.
shortcuts and tips.
Now hit it.
Facebook.
See, now this one says it's from Carlos.
Carlos Jerusalem.
Carlos.
Jerusalem.com.
Jerusalem.
Then there's another one, shortcuts for Google. Andy.
Yes, I got that one.
So you want to click?
Yeah, I got that. I got
Want
that.
us to click on it?
Okay, well the one she had was this one.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So one way is the most users. Now this first one says official Firefox extension. Shortcuts for Google, this first one, just this blue box, the plain one, it says there's 22,857.
Says 2857.
Yeah.
There's only 12 on the other one.
But the next one is 12.
Number of downloads.
Okay, well that seems pretty low. So click on plus 3.
Which one?
Shortcuts for Google, the plain one.
The arrow.
That's pretty
Yeah, the arrow.
Add.
Add.
Checking. Confirm new extensions. Add. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think I did it.
Checking,
Go ahead, free.
read it.
Hit what? You click on plus free.
Okay, so now it should come up here.
Oh, plus, okay.
There's a new
Points
arrow.
up to where it is on your extension
Okay.
bar
Yeah.
On the right side.
on the right
Arrow
side.
back.
There's a new arrow there.
Now you can hold your left mouse button down on top of it and drag it to the left. So it's the first one after Omnibox.
Select.
Okay, it's there.
I push and
Okay, now what happens when you
shortcuts
click
for
on it?
Google has been installed successfully. Click on it.
All the little apps come up.
Right. Okay, now let's just test something.
Right.
So I'm going to click on
We still have to, oh, it's already been downloaded.
I don't get it.
You got a little arrow up there.
I'll get off
Little
the
blue arrow.
It says download drive.
Oh my. They want you to hit it.
Yeah, well.
Add the Chrome.
Okay, so what I just tested to see was, will it write over the open tab or will it open a tab?
What did it do?
It opens a new tab. So that means this is now a fast way to get there. The 9 square grid is the best way. That's the best tab to get into, but you can only get to the 9 square grid from what?
Drive.
Drive,
From a Google app, from any Google app.
okay?
It's in Google Plus, it's in Calendar, it's in all of those on the top. But if you're on a web page, if you're on Ed, and you want to get to Gmail, you can't get there from Gmail.
You have to, the tab thing, so now we can use it.
So now, you can use the shortcuts for Google. Click on that, and then
And it opens a new tab.
it opens a new tab. So that's a very powerful tool.
So now that it's on there, we just close that tab and it should stay.
Yeah, because it's an extension. What I highly suggest you do is that you drag it so it's the one that's closest to
I
the
got that.
Omnibar.
Got that, so we don't have to go all the way over.
Well, as you add more extensions, they push the one, they either going to show up over here or they're going to push ones this way. The first one, it's going to be on there the longest.
Is the Omnis bar gonna get shorter?
You can,
No,
you
it's
can
not.
drag the Omnibar.
It's
So
right
that's a
next
good
to it.
question.
See?
I know, I see that.
So if
That's
you
what I
move your
see on mine.
pointer
What I'm
to the
saying is,
line, okay, hold on. If you move your pointer to the line between the Omnibar and not Omnibar,
right?
it changes to a double-headed pointer. Move it
got
slowly. And when it does that, if you hold down your left mouse button, you can drag your Omnibar. You can
Oh.
make it smaller
Oh,
or
right.
larger.
Oh, my bad.
It's not doing it.
Okay?
No, yeah, mine's not doing it either.
Well, that might be because you have all the space you need, or because you're just not accurate with the pointer. But you see what I do,
You don't
right?
have the double.
Now,
Oh,
when
there
I
it
make the
goes.
Omnibar as large as,
No,
or
this-
when I make the extension as large as possible, where I include all the extensions, let me say it this way. I can make the Omnibar longer, some of the extensions drop off. So now I'm only showing 2. But to the right of that is a little button that has 2 arrows. And that shows me the other extensions.
Oh, okay, I don't have enough up here. That's why it's not doing it. But it
Everybody
did it.
see that?
It did it the other way. Yeah,
Yes.
it did it.
Okay, so that means I can really have a lot of extensions also. So I can really fine tune this thing. And okay, so it's break time. But I want to close by saying this. And as we learned yesterday, I think, from Rob, once you have your Google Chrome set up, any machine you go to, you can log into Google Chrome and all of your bookmarks, all of your settings are there with you. Hugely powerful. It's not stored on the machine. Okay, Dennis, or in California, Graciela, does anybody have any questions before we close for the day?
No, we're good here in Santa Fe Springs, Ed.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you.